The Three Little Pigs. On the top of a hill there stood a red-roofed house. This was the home of Mother Pig and her 3 piglets. The oldest of the 3 little pigs was Lazy Peter. Next came Greedy Pat. The third and youngest of the 3 brothers was hard-working Piper. One day, Mother Pig spoke to the piglets. "You've all grown up now, and it's time for you to build your own homes." Encouraged by their mother, the 3 piglets left home to find their fortune. They travelled around, trying to find somewhere to build themselves houses. Lazy Peter gathered lots of straw from the fields, and in no time he had put up his own straw house. "It's really no trouble at all," he said to himself. After building his house, Peter summoned Pat and Piper and proudly showed them his achievement. "What do you think of my house? I put it up in a jiffy. Now I'll be able to have a long siesta." Peter was really proud of himself. Greedy Pat wasn't one to be beaten, and set off to build his own house. He gathered lots of brushwood and hammered it together, rat-a-tat-tat-tat, with nails. "Well, that's done then," he said to himself before going off to find something to eat. Piper was very impressed by his elder brother's prowess. They'd finished the job much faster than he had. But he said to himself, "I'll build a strong house made of solid brick." He went off to gather the bricks and carted them back to where he was going to build his house. The bricks were heavy, and he nearly collapsed under the weight. He collected bricks from wherever he could find them. He then piled them one on top of the other and built the walls. Seeing him working so hard, Peter and Pat turned up, humming to themselves, to see how he was getting on. "Piper, you still haven't finished building your house," said Peter. "You're a right lazybones," said Pat. Piper replied, It takes a long time to build a house of bricks, but it's strong, and it'll stand up to the most violent storm. You'll never get it finished, said the two elder brothers as they went off to play. Heave-ho! Heave-ho! Piper worked hard until dark. At last, it's finished, he said. Next day, the piglets went to tell their mother that they'd finished building their houses. They were secretly followed on their way home by a hungry wolf. This looks like a tasty meal. They'll get away if I attack them all at once. So I'll eat them one by one after they get back home. The wolf first went to Peter's straw house and knocked at the door. Peter looked out the window. Oh, it's a wolf! How terrifying! Peter locked the door. Hey, little piggy! I can blow your house down with a single breath. The wolf blew hard, and the house blew away in an instant. Oh, help! Peter ran away and escaped to Pat's brushwood house. The two piglets locked the door and quaked with terror in a corner of the house. The wolf charged at the house, which soon began to fall apart. Nothing could be simpler than knocking down a house like this, said the wolf. Bang! Crash! Wallop! Oh, let's run away, said the pigs. The brushwood house fell down, and the two piglets rushed away in the direction of Piper's house. The two piglets escaped into the brick house and locked the door. They were still trembling with fear. You've got nothing to worry about. This house is as solid as they come, said Piper. Outside the house, the hungry wolf charged at the brick wall, determined to gobble up all three piglets. Crash! Ouch, that hurt, said the wolf. Frustrated, he eventually had to give up. The two elder brothers were overjoyed that the wolf had slunk away. But Piper said, that it was still too early for them to feel safe, and that the wolf would try to attack again. "What are we going to do?" they wondered. "I've got a good idea," said Piper. Piper told them to pick up some large stones. Grumbling to themselves, the two elder brothers did as they were told. "Put the stones on the roof," said Piper. The three piglets arranged the stones on the roof. The wolf soon returned with a hammer. "I'll use this to break down the walls." The wolf started hammering away on the walls. Bang! 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 The house began to shake, and this brought down all the stones on the roof onto the wolf's head. Ouch! The wolf was furious, but had no intention of giving up. "Right then, I'll get dressed up as Santa Claus and go down the chimney. The piglets will never expect that." Disguised as Santa Claus, the wolf climbed onto the roof. "Look, Santa Claus has come," said Pat, as he gazed excitedly out of the window. "Santa Claus comes at Christmas in December." "That's the wolf dressed up to look like Santa Claus," said Piper. The elder brothers turned to Piper for a suggestion about what they should do. Piper got his brothers to start up a fire in the hearth. He then placed a large pot on the fire and boiled some water in it. Trying to make his way down the chimney, the wolf fell, splash, into the pot of boiling water and was never seen again. After that, the three piglets lived happily ever after, together in harmony. the Snow Queen. Once upon a time, the devils made a magic mirror. The mirror made even beautiful things look ugly. Even smiling faces looked angry. The devils were amused, and they looked at many different things in the mirror. They liked it so much that they played with it every day. They spent the whole day reflecting things in it. One day, fighting about who would be the next to play, they ended up shattering the mirror. All the pieces of the magic mirror fell to earth. If the pieces got inside of people, their hearts would become frozen. In one town, there was a boy named Kai and a girl named Gerda, who lived next door to each other. They both lived in poor attic rooms. Kai and Gerda were friends, and they always played together on the roof. They took great care of some roses that were planted in a wooden box. Kai was watering the roses one day when something shiny fell from the sky. "Oh! Ouch! Something has gone in my eyes. It feels like it's going into my heart." They were broken pieces of the mirror. Gerda asked Kai if he was all right, when suddenly he yanked out all the roses from the box. "Kai, what's the matter with you?" Kai went inside his house without saying a word. From that day, when Gerda visited Kai with a book, he would say, "What a boring book! Throw it away!" And he would hurl the book away. This made Gerda very sad. Kai even started to play tricks on his sweet old grandmother. Soon winter came, and with it, lots of snow. Kai went outside with his sled to play by himself. Children were making snowmen and riding their sleds in the square.
Achoo! Achoo!
Kai tied his sled to a bigger sled. Suddenly, the big sled took off at great speed. The sled carried Kai farther and farther away from home. He became frightened. Then the beautiful woman driving the sled turned around to look at him. It was the Snow Queen. "Come over here," she said. The Queen made Kai sit next to her and kissed him on the forehead. Just as she did, Kai forgot about Gerda, his grandmother, and everything else. The Snow Queen's sled carried Kai up high into the sky. Spring arrived, and the snow finally melted. But no matter how long they waited, Kai did not come home. Gerda decided to go and search for Kai. She put on her new red shoes and walked to the river. "Did Kai fall into the river and drown?" she asked the river. "If you give Kai back to me, I will give you these red shoes." Gerda threw her shoes into the river, but the river just pushed her shoes back to shore. "Please, take me to where Kai is." A boat appeared on the river. Gerda climbed on it and drifted downstream. The boat came to a small house surrounded by a garden with many flowers. An old woman wearing a big sunbonnet came out of the house. "Oh, what a pretty child! Why have you come drifting down the river?" Gerda told her that she was looking for Kai. "Poor child, if you go north, I'm sure you will find Kai." After thanking the old woman, Gerda started walking towards the north. "Where can Kai be?" As Gerda continued her search for Kai, winter came again, and it got colder and colder. Gerda was tired and was taking a rest when a crow came flying down. Gerda asked the crow about Kai.
Ah, that might be the boy who has recently come to the castle and has become the prince,
said the crow. Oh, Mr. Crow, please take me to the castle. Night fell, and the crow guided Gerda into the castle. At last, I will get to see Kai again. Gerda crept into the room where the prince and the queen slept. Gerda was filled with joy. Kai, wake up! But the prince who woke up was not Kai. The queen woke up too and asked, "Who are you?" Gerda told her story. You poor child. After hearing why she was there, the prince and the queen forgave Gerda for sneaking into the castle. The next morning, they gave Gerda a carriage and warm fur boots for her journey to find Kai. I hope you find Kai soon, they said. They saw Gerda off, who continued her journey northward. When Gerda's carriage came to a forest, she was attacked by bandits. Gerda was about to be killed when a bandit girl shouted, "Stop! I want to make her my friend." The girl took Gerda to her hut. Where were you headed? Gerda told the bandit girl about Kai. A pigeon had been listening to the conversation. Coo, coo! The Snow Queen took the boy on her sled, and they flew toward Lapland. Gerda, that's good news. Take my reindeer with you. The bandit girl let Gerda escape. The reindeer ran for many days toward the north, and finally reached Lapland. There they found a small house. Gerda knocked, and an old woman answered and let her in the house. When Gerda asked about Kai, she said,
The boy is at the Snow Queen's castle. The Snow Queen is out of the castle now, but an ice monster is guarding it.
The old woman handed Gerda a magic charm and told her to keep it safe. Gerda made her way toward the Snow Queen's castle. Suddenly, the snow turned into a scary dragon and attacked her. But when Gerda touched the charm, hundreds of fairies appeared out of nowhere. The fairies fought the snow dragon and guarded Gerda. Gerda entered the castle, where she found Kai playing with pieces of ice. Gerda hugged Kai's cold body.
Kai! It's me, Gerda.
Gerda's tears fell on Kai's eyes and heart, and melted the pieces of the mirror.
Oh, Gerda! What happened?
Kai was back to his old self again. Then he and Gerda went home and lived happily ever after. the Bat. Once upon a time, the animals were having a dispute. Which are stronger, the birds or the beasts? The Bat could not decide which side he should take. As he watched the battle, the beasts seemed to be winning. The Bat said,
I look like a mouse. So the beasts are my friends.
so he took sides with the beasts.
I will fight the birds with you.
But the birds made a comeback, and the beasts almost lost. Then said the Bat in a hurry,
I have wings. That's why the birds are my friends.
and the Bat quickly changed sides and joined the birds. The battle continued for days. Before long, the birds and the beasts grew tired of fighting and became friends. But both the birds and the beasts turned their backs on the cowardly Bat. The Bat was chased out of the forest. Ever since, he has had to hide in caves during the day and only come out at night. Kaguya Hime, the Bamboo Princess. Once upon a time, there lived an old man and an old woman. The old man cut bamboo in the mountain, and the old woman wove baskets with it. The old man sold the baskets in town to make a living. One day, when the old man was cutting bamboo in the mountain, he saw a bamboo stalk that was glowing brightly. "This is strange. I've never seen such a bamboo." He cut the bamboo and found a tiny girl inside. "How lovely she is!" The girl was so tiny that she could fit in the palm of the old man's hand. The old man hurried home and said to his wife, "Look what I found! She came out of a bamboo stalk."
Such a lovely child. She must be a godsend.
They raised her with care, for the couple had no children of their own. The girl grew into a beautiful young woman. One day, as the old man was cutting down a bamboo stalk, money started pouring out of it. From then on, the old man found money every time he cut a bamboo stalk. So the old man and old woman became very rich, and the girl became a young woman of great beauty. When she had grown up, they asked a Shinto priest to give her a name. The priest named her Kaguya Hime, which means the Bamboo Princess. The people of the village all admired the Bamboo Princess for her beauty. Word of her beauty spread from the village to the town, and from the town to the city. One day, 5 princes from the city came to her house. Each one said, "Please, let me be the one to marry the Bamboo Princess." The old man did not know what to do. The Bamboo Princess said to the 5 princes,
"I will marry the man who is the first to find and bring me what I ask for."
All 5 men set out to find the items that the princess requested. The princess asked Prince Ishitsukuri to go to India to find the great stone bowl of Buddha. But he only pretended to go to India and hid in the nearby mountains for 3 years. Then he brought back a stone bowl he had found in the mountains. When the Bamboo Princess saw the stone bowl, she said,
"This is a fake. The real bowl shines more brilliantly. Look how this one is blackened with soot."
Prince Ishitsukuri was ashamed of his lie and went home in defeat. The princess asked Prince Kuramuchi to find a branch covered in jewels that grew on Mount Hurai. But he only pretended to go to Mount Hurai by boat and stopped off at a nearby island. He said to his craftsman, "Make me a branch with jewels now." The craftsman made the fake branch and he returned, pretending it was the real one. The jeweled branch was so finely made that the Bamboo Princess could not decide if it was real or not. That was when the craftsmen arrived. "Please, pay us for making the jeweled branch," they said. The branch was obviously a fake, and the prince went home in disgrace. Prince Abeno ordered a robe from China, made from the fur of fire rats. It cost him a fortune. Soon the robe arrived by ship from China. "Oh, what a gorgeous fur robe! The Bamboo Princess will surely be pleased." He lost no time in presenting the robe to her.
"Oh, how beautiful,"
she said.
"But if this really is a robe made from the fur of fire rats, it should not burn in fire."
Thrown on the fire, it burned to ashes. Prince Abeno left in shame. Prince Otomo went to find 5 shiny balls from the neck of a sea dragon. A storm came as the boat headed out to sea. The boat rocked wildly and almost sank. Prince Otomo hung on to the mast and trembled in fear. The boatman said, "We are being punished for trying to kill the dragon that belongs to the god of the sea." Prince Otomo prayed and apologized to the god of the sea. The sea calmed down. They were saved, but the prince had no gift for the princess. Prince Iso climbed a tall roof to find a cowrie shell kept by the swallows. But he slipped and hurt himself badly. All 5 men failed in their quests and gave up on marrying the bamboo princess.
"Ah, what a relief,"
she said. Before long, it was autumn. At night, the bamboo princess would look up at the moon and cry. The old man and the old woman couldn't stop worrying about the bamboo princess, who looked up at the moon and cried night after night. When asked why, the princess replied,
"On the night of the next full moon, messengers from the moon will come to take me away. Then I must bid you farewell."
The surprised old man went to the capital to ask the emperor to protect the bamboo princess. The emperor ordered his men to prepare for battle and to guard the house. The next full moon, with the sound of beautiful music, a cloud carrying the messengers descended from the moon. "Shoot your arrows!" But the men were blinded by the light and couldn't shoot. The bamboo princess slipped out of the old woman's arms and got in the carriage with the messengers from the moon.
"Please don't leave us, princess."
The emperor and his men felt like they were dreaming and couldn't move at all. The old man and the old woman were so sad that they started crying. "Please, don't take the bamboo princess away," the princess said sadly.
Thank you very much for taking such good care of me, but I must leave now. Goodbye.
And the carriage with the bamboo princess went back to the moon.
Bye.